All right, in this example, we have a fire is sited by a ranger in a fire tower. So let's think about what that's going to look like. We've got this fire tower. You've got this ranger up here. He sights a fire, so there's a fire somewhere else. You know, it's going to be over here on the ground somewhere. Let's say this is your fire. Maybe I should have made that red. Okay, so if the ranger is looking down at an angle of depression of 22 degrees, so what they're saying is from the ranger down to the fire, because he's looking down to see this, the angle of depression is 22 degrees. Well, if you remember, an angle of depression is from the ceiling down. So what I have to do is kind of say, well, you got to start with a horizontal line. Here's a horizontal line where the ranger is at. And then from there down is the 22 degrees. Okay? So I'm hoping what you guys are noticing is we did have a triangle kind of being formed right here. This is a pretty nice right triangle that we can use. The problem with our angle of depression right here is that it's not inside our triangle. So one thing, if you guys remember from Geometry A, this horizontal line I drew in is parallel to the ground right here. And this line of sight from the ranger to the fire is like a transversal. So we actually have alternate interior angles. If this angle is 22 degrees, then that makes this angle 22 degrees as well. So sometimes you may have to do something like that. You know, our angle of depression wasn't part of our triangle, but just remembering some geometry properties, we were able to get that 22 degrees inside the triangle. All right, so what else? I need something else labeled. Let's see. Fire is sited by ranger in a fire tower 75 meters above the ground. So the tower is 75 meters above the ground. So that's how tall that tower is. We've got our 22 degrees. How far from the base of the tower is the fire? Well, the base of the tower is down here. The fire is over here. So that's what they're asking, is how far from the base, how far is it from the base to the fire? All right, so we have our right triangle. Here's our angle inside our triangle. Let's go ahead and label our sides. Across from the 22 degrees is our opposite side, so that's 75. The hypotenuse is across from the 90-degree angle, which leaves our third side as the adjacent side. So we are going to use the opposite side and the adjacent side to solve for x. So again, just go back to your SOHCAHTOA. Are you guys loving this yet? It's kind of fun, and now we get to draw pictures, so it's even better. So which one uses the opposite and the adjacent? So opposite and adjacent is going to be our tangent. So what we do is we say tangent of our angle, which we know is 22 degrees, is equal to the opposite side, which is 75, over the adjacent side, which is x. Once we have it set up, we go ahead and put that over 1, which allows us to cross multiply. When I cross multiply, it doesn't matter which diagonal you multiply first. I always start with where the variable is, so I just have that on the left side of my equation. So we have x times the tangent of 22 is equal to 75. Well, what we can do is we can use our calculator to figure out what the tangent of 22 is. And remember, we're going to round that to 4 decimal places. So it's going to be x times 0.4040. And those are 4s. And then we keep solving for x. To get x alone, we're going to divide by that 0.4040 on both sides. Cross off your 4 zeros, leaving us with x equal to, type it in, 75 divided by, see if you get the same answer as me, 0.4040. And we get 185.6. And what kind of label would this get? We're talking meters, right? Because that 75 was in meters. So 185.6 meters. That's how far away the fire is from the base of the Ranger Tower.